Hello, welcome to the self-learning podcast by Dr. Sushma Singh. Let us start discussion on Unit 8 hermeneutics. We are taking up a detailed discussion of hermeneutics in this unit. Hermeneutics is a part of the methodological quest to understand the social reality, as it has been applied as a method in sociology. We need to look at its location in the scene of methodological disputes in the social sciences and trace its history for learning of its significance in sociological inquiry. We will find that not much work in sociology in India has been applied hermeneutics approach, but its application is quite popular in areas where tradition is perceived as significant in the lives of the people. Whenever there is a new interpretation of the tradition, application of hermeneutics becomes a necessity. This unit is going to provide a new tool in our hands. Hope we will make use of it in our researches. After introducing in section 2 methodological disputes in the social sciences, the unit traces the section 3 and 4 the history of hermeneutics and shows its relationship with sociology. In the end, it discusses the philosophical ideas of hermeneutics. Now let us move to the next point, methodological disputes in the social sciences. Two main traditions have dominated the philosophy of social science for quite some time now. The divide being between those for whom social science is the explanation of social phenomena through a search for causes, and those for whom social science is the understanding and interpretation of the meanings of social action. This dispute over the nature of social science has a long history, during which it has manifested itself in many forms. There was the dispute over methods of the 1890s in Germany in economics, and Karl Menger, the neoclassical Australian economist, insisted that the exact laws of theoretical economics were identical in form to those of the natural sciences such as mechanics. Gustav Schmeissler of the German Younger Economic History School roundly opposed Karl Menger. Schmeissler was also a member of the Society for Social Policy, which had been set up in 1872 at Nietzsche as a reform movement. The society never took up concrete political programs. Instead, it published several studies of specific concrete problems in the socio-economic sphere. For these studies, Schmeissler advocated an inductive, empirical, and historical approach, in opposition to the deductive and abstract approach of Menger. At this point, some neo-Kantian philosophers entered the debate, and the dispute became generalized after a conflict over the methodology of economics to the conflict between the nature of social science. Another important debate over methodology of the social sciences in Germany was the debate on the value and purpose of scientific research, which began in 1903 and lasted for over a decade, and in which a famous participant was Max Weber. Weber cut through the debate in his own particular way, although he numbered himself among the descendants of the historical school. For him, the social world was composed of unique objects and singular configurations. He did not reject casual analysis as inappropriate to the social sciences. Believing in the value relevance of all social action, Weber saw the method of interpretative understanding as essential to social science, but he also said that it had to be complemented by causal analysis. Not only did Weber's category of value relevance not exclude causal analysis, it also did not exclude Weber's advocacy of a value-free social science. And this was the issue that he debated with Smeller in the early 1900s. Finally, there was the post-Second World War debate on positivism or positive dispute in Germany, which began in 1961 with Popper's opening address to the German Sociological Association at Tübingen, and also Adorno. Popper presented 27 theses of logic of the social sciences, and Adorno answered him. The debate was to be between a supposedly positivist methodology advocated by Popper and Adorno's anti-positivist stance. But Popper spiked the proceedings somewhat by claiming himself to be a critic of positivism. In spite of this, the dispute continued, with the Habermas coming in on the side of Adorno and continuing the attack on Popper's methodology as positivist, and Hans Albert defending this methodology. In this debate too, as in the earlier ones, one side insisted on the human or historical or cultural or social sciences having their own methodology distinct from that of natural science. The name given to this distinct methodology of the human sciences was hermeneutics. Now let us wind up the session and take rest. Thank you very much for engaging yourself with the Self-Learning Podcast.